My peoples. Today's show is gonna be lit. Oscar De La Hoya, Virgil Ortiz, Jarrell Miller, Ennis, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Zufa boxing. We talking about all of it, my people. Stay with me. The show kicks off in 1.5 minutes. Yes, sir. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, man. We talking boxing. But first, let me kick this thing off by saying it's a beautiful day, Monday morning. Check it, man. Give thanks to God that he gave us another day to be here. If you breathing, it don't matter what the circumstances is, man. God gave us another day to be alive, to enjoy the sweet science, to enjoy our family, to enjoy everything, my peoples. Yes, sir. Super happy about it. Listen, man, I'm Jay Smith. This is another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. On a beautiful Monday morning, we're going to be talking about everything that's going on in the world of boxing. We're going to kick this thing off with the whole Virgil Ortiz and Golden Boy saga. What's going on right now? So, y'all know I like to talk with facts. I don't like to make stuff up out of thin air. I don't like to make assumptions. I use the facts to formulate an opinion. Now I gotta say this. I already see the Virgil Ortiz superfans and the Oscar De La Hoya haters making up their own narrative. Making up their own story. Their own fake news. Even when they know the truth, they try to spin the truth and turn it into what they want to believe. So you guys know, I'm here to give you the facts. And based upon the facts, you can formulate your own opinion and say what you think is going on. So, right away, let's get to the facts. Let's get to the real facts. Skip a clipper. Have you made a prediction on Gary versus Andy yet? I'm going to get to that. My brother. But let me share some facts with y'all real quick. And these are the facts, my peoples. The hydrogram been hiding the real King George. Salute, family. The hydrogram been hiding since he tried to come up with the fake news. So I'm going to read this for you guys right now. The Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Jarrell Miller Ennis fight is on hold after a federal judge granted Golden Boy Promotions a temporary restraining order. Remember, they granted it to Oscar De La Hoya. The court battle centers on whether Ortiz became a free agent when Golden Boy's The Zone deal expired on December 31st. So in other words, the lawsuit is based upon Virgil Ortiz trying to become a free agent. Now, why does he want to become a free agent? Remember, if Virgil Ortiz becomes a free agent, he doesn't have to fight Jarrell Miller Ennis. He doesn't have to fight who Oscar De La Hoya wants him to fight. So the notion that Oscar De La Hoya doesn't want to make this fight is actually 100% false. 1,000% false. Oscar De La Hoya is trying to make this fight. Badly. He wants to make the fight. Virgil and his team don't want to make it, y'all. So who's really ducking? Now, here's the funny part about this situation. Virgil Ortiz is trying to leave his Golden Boy contract because he says that Golden Boy's contract with the Zone expired. But Virgil Ortiz never had a contract with the Zone. He never had a contract with the Zone. Not only he didn't have a contract with the Zone, who does Boots, or what promotional company is Boots fighting with? Matchroom. And where does Matchroom stage their fights? The Zone. In other words, if Virgil Ortiz was to fight Jarrell Miller Ennis, the fight would be on the Zone. Why are you crying about Oscar De La Hoya's contract expiring with the Zone when you would still fight on the Zone if you fight Boots? The fight will be broadcasted on the Zone. So in other words, you're just trying to find your way out of that fight, buddy. I seen that from a mile away. The real King George, he wants to fight Zufa Boxing or other promotions. Well, there's a good possibility that he wants to fight on Canelo's promotional company. Canelo's going to do Canelo Promotions. Now, I told you guys this on Saturday, and I want you to take this into consideration. Canelo was sparring with Jarrell Miller Ennis in his preparation to fight Terrence Crawford, and it's well known that he got his ass whooped. Boots beat the shit out of him in sparring. They only sparred once. They had him in training camp, but they only sparred once after that ass whooping Boots gave him. So if Canelo is gonna bring Virgil over to his promotional company, you think he's gonna sacrifice Virgil to Boots? In fact, it's the same lawyer that Canelo got to get out of his Golden Boy contract. That's the same lawyer that Virgil Ortiz has. So basically, Canelo told him, yo, Boo's gonna beat the shit out of you. Let's get you out of that contract because you don't want that fight. You do not want that smoke with Jarrell Miller Ennis. And that's the way that Virgil and his team are behaving. They do not want anything to do with Boots. I want you to think about it. Before Boots climbed that ring and faced off with Virgil, they spent the last few months talking about Boots is ducking them, and they want to fight Boots, and they ready for that smoke. That shit was a bluff, my peoples. They was bluffing. And the proof is right here, right now. How do I know they was bluffing? Because now that Boots called they bluff, they want to leave Golden Boy. Now, I want you to consider this. Virgil Ortiz, last fight was in October, I think. And since his last fight, he said that he wanted to fight Boots. Oh no, it was Boots' last fight, I think, was in October, if I'm not mistaken. So why is it that Virgil Ortiz been all these years with Golden Boy, happy as hell, has never had a problem, has never expressed a problem with Golden Boy, but now that Oscar is saying fight Boots, he want to leave Golden Boy. He don't want to be there no more. He don't want no parts of that. So you just have to be honest with yourself and see what's actually going on, my peoples. And this is what's going on right here. This is what's going on right here. It's a duck. Virgil Ortiz is a duck. Yes, he a warrior. Yes, he a real good fighter. But when it comes to Jarrell Boots Ennis, he a duck. He ducking. Let's stop with the fake narratives. Let's stop. Look, here's the deal. And I always see this in boxing. When fans don't like somebody, they want to go against them no matter what. So now, Virgil Ortiz super fans, now they going at Oscar. It's Oscar's fault. And they making up their own fake narrative. I want you to think about this. The Hydro Grind, who I'm waiting for, who been hiding since last week, said that Virgil Ortiz is leaving Golden Boy because he wanted Oscar to get him less money so the fight could be made. Remember Oscar said on social media, 60-40 for Virgil. He the bigger star. Should promoters always try to get their star the bigger piece of the pie? But not only that, and we mentioned this before, negotiations are not carried out on social media. It's not on social media. They could throw all the numbers that they want out there, but negotiations go down behind the scenes. And all we've seen from Virgil Ortiz is that he does not want to fight Boots. If you look at the facts, forget about the fact that you don't like Oscar De La Hoya or that you're a Virgil Ortiz super fan. It's not about that. It's about what's really going on. Virgil Ortiz does not want to fight Jarrell Boots Ennis. That's just the reality, my peoples. I'm being honest with you. Based on everything that we've seen. You remember that face-off? We facing each other off. Boots is like, I'll beat your ass. What's up? What's up? Boots was all in Virgil's face. Looking like Debo trying to take Virgil bicycle on the spot. And Virgil's over there like, my dream fight would be to fight Errol Spence. I really want to fight Errol. Why would you be calling out Errol Spence when you got Jarrell Boots Ennis right there, right next to you, literally right next to you, telling you that he's going to whoop your ass? Virgil Ortiz said everything but I want to fight Boots. I want this guy next. He never said that. So from that very first time that they faced each other off, I already got that vibe from Virgil. It just didn't sit right with my spirit. The next day, I spoke about it with you guys. I was like, yo, Virgil didn't have that energy like he want that smoke. Boots was all over his face. So where's all the people that were saying that it's Boots that been ducking him? That narrative. Boots is ducking. Boots don't want Virgil. Meanwhile, Boots in his face talking about, I'll whoop your ass. I'll stop you. And Virgil's like, my dream fight is Errol. I really want to fight Errol Spence. When Errol been inactive for 2.5 years. You ducking. That's just the reality. The real King George, his contract is still active. Though Oscar is trying to get DAZN contract settled, we have to wait until judge says anything. So that's the problem that Virgil Ortiz is running to with this duck. He never had a contract with DAZN. He not on the contract with DAZN. How are you going to say, well, since Golden Boy doesn't have a contract with DAZN, we became free agents? How you figure that? You have a contract with Golden Boy, not with DAZN. What are you talking about? Looking goofy as hell, it's like they trying to find any excuse to duck Boots. They looking for anything. MS, Jason Damas, you called it. I smell inactivity for Vergil until the legal battle ends. Salute. I try to tell him, bro. I try to tell him. Virgil Ortiz ain't fighting nobody until this situation is settled. And then, if he's not able to leave Golden Boy, he's going to have to fight Boots or stay inactive for God knows how long. God knows how long. So he's going to be put between, between a wall and a rock, between a rock and a hard place. What the fuck? I don't even know the saying. But he's going to be put between two hard spots. And he's going to have to choose. Boots is just sitting right there like, yeah, a rock and a hard place. Boots just sitting there waiting like, yo, what you want to do, homie? And if Virgil Ortiz chooses not to fight Boots, he's going to be Mr. Inactive. That's what that ducking is going to get you. Inactivity. So you're going to see the Virgil superfans. You're going to see the De La Hoya haters floating the fake narratives out there. I already seen posts. People say, nah, it's Oscar's fault that they not fighting because he's overpricing Virgil. I seen some Virgil superfans. Nah, Oscar's trying to jerk Virgil out of his money. Meanwhile, the lawsuit got nothing to do with money. Virgil's not saying Oscar's robbing me. Virgil's not saying he's not paying me enough. He stole money from me. He's not saying none of that. He's just saying, I'm a free agent, so I don't got to fight Boots. And Oscar De La Hoya is saying, no, you're not a free agent. You got a contract with us. You ain't got a contract with no DAZN. So now it's already in federal court, and the judge granted Oscar De La Hoya the restraining order saying, no, Virgil, you can't go nowhere. You're not a free agent. We're going to have to review these contracts. You ain't no free agent like you want to be, buddy. Chill out. Hold on. He wants to be a free agent. The real King George, I think, saw his contract end 2027. He can leave if he wants to. That's the thing. His contract ain't ending no time soon. He's on the contract for all of 2026. And I think most, if not all of 2027. I think it expires at the end of the year. I'm not sure about that, though. But that means, number one, your ass is going to be inactive while this thing is in court. Number two, once it's settled in court, if you have to stay with Golden Boy, they're going to force you to fight Boots. Because now Oscar's like, oh, you're trying to leave. You're trying to shit on me. Or I made you a star. I gave you all these career paydays. And you want to leave? Cool. You on the contract, buddy. You're going to fight Boots or you're not fighting at all. Try to tell you. Pass the track. Jay, really, Haney is going to fight Shakur Stevenson? That's a bad matchup. We're going to talk about that because that may actually happen at the end of the year or sometime this year. So isn't Haney going to fight Keyshawn first? See, the thing is, they're going back and forth. It's only social media talk thus far. I don't think that fight is going to happen next because Keyshawn, I think, is going to look to become a world champion at the welterweight division. He already pointed out at one of the fighters, one of the champions. And once he got a belt, now he's going to be able to demand the type of money that he felt like he deserved or the type of purse split that he felt like he deserved in that fight. So I don't think Haney's going to fight either one of them next. Pass the track. Well, if Haney fights, he got to win. That's for sure. Of course, all of them got to win if they want to stay in the race. But, my peoples, it has been established 100%. This is right here the latest picture of Vergil. Here we go. I'm back in the building. So, hold on. Before we move on, that right there is a selfie that Virgil Ortiz took. That's a selfie from Virgil Ortiz right after he dunked Jarrell Miller. Ennis. There you have it. That's Virgil Ortiz, my peoples. You can see it. You can tell in the eyes that's Virgil. Look at the eyes. Look at the shape of the dome piece. That's Virgil. That's not a duck. It might look like a duck. It's Virgil. That's Virgil right there. So you might think, damn, why Jay putting this duck over here? Nah, that's not a duck. That's Virgil. Straight up. My people, Zufa boxing. Did y'all have the opportunity to see Zufa boxing yesterday? I gotta say it, man. Salute to Dana White. Salute to the matchmakers at Zufa boxing. They giving us that smoke. They keep giving us these type of fights. We got some real good fights. And that's been the theme early on. We're seeing fighters that we don't know, but that they're being matched so that it could be real good fights, explosive fights. The main card, all 3 fights ended in stoppage. All 3 fights, we got to see some brutal knockouts. Ajagba, devastating knockout. This dude right here, man, y'all got to be on the lookout for Ajagba. 250 pounds, 6'6". Big as hell, strong as hell. MS, why Zufa car was driving all last night. I got to tell you, you missed a hell of a card. Even though, like I said before, a lot of unfamiliar names, but the fights, man, the fights was real good, real competitive. They went at it. We saw some devastating knockouts. And it's like I told you, the main card, every fight ended in a knockout. Capping off with Ajagba. It wasn't a knockout, it was a TKO. The referee had to stop it. He was already teeing off on his opponent, putting all type of hands on him. And it was a good stoppage. Side, Efe looked happy as hell, punching Martin wig piece. Listen, putting all type of hands to the dome piece, to the snack box, to the wig piece. All type of hands on him. So, but I gotta say, I see a kink in the armor when it comes to Efe Ajagba. He takes too much punishment. He take a lot of punches. Even yesterday, although he ended up beating the crap out of Martin, he took a lot of punches before he started hurting him. And that's the one thing I don't like about Ajagba. He's a big dude with a very long reach. And he barely used that jab. He don't use that jab enough. You know, working behind the jab, he could be a super dangerous fighter. And he already dangerous, but what I mean is that he could be hard to hit. It should be hard to get to him. But he don't use that jab enough. He take a lot of shots. So when he get to the higher levels, he's gonna have problems. Them dudes are gonna put hands on him. So right now, Ajagba has the offensive firepower to get to the top. But what happens when he's facing these higher level heavyweights that are gonna lay hands on you? I could see him getting knocked out. So they gotta polish that defense. Positive track. Jay got me pumped about boxing on President Day. One of the few I got off. Jay, I gotta but my real subscription and stop being a bum. Shit tight right now, but I got you. You know I think you're the best. I appreciate it, my brother. I appreciate you. And just the fact that you tune in, that you watch the show, that you share your opinion, that's right there, everything, you know. If you subscribe, if you get an exclusive membership, salute. But the fact that you tune in and you show love every morning, bam, that's what we need right there. My peoples. So, again, I give credit to the matchmakers at Zufa Boxing. I'm giving credit to Dana White because ultimately they giving us exciting boxing matches. Look, we got boxing. We got a card on a Sunday. Yesterday, we wouldn't have been watching boxing. Dana White gave us that. So to the people that don't like Dana White and don't like Zufa boxing, yo, you're not seeing that we're getting more fights. We're getting good competitive fights. Yesterday, we also saw 1 or 2 fighters lose their O. Because that's one thing I like about Zufa boxing. The guy that's 10-0 is fighting a guy that's 12-1. He's fighting another undefeated guy that's 11-0. Normally, we're used to seeing the guy that's 10-0 fighting a guy with 5 wins and 7 losses. You 12-0, your opponent got 10 wins and 15 losses. Journeyman who been out there getting beat up. In Zufa boxing, when you see a guy get to 20-0, get to 25-0, it's not going to be a padded record, my peoples. Not going to be. It's going to be a legit undefeated record. So you know when a guy gets to that point where they 20-0, they for real. They didn't cherry pick 20 McDonald's supervisors, bus drivers, pizza delivery guys to get them to that record. Side, at least the toupee didn't fly off like Jarrell Miller. If the toupee would have flew off, he would have been a bigger star. Listen, I'm going to put it to you like this. One of the best things that's happened to Jarrell Miller's career is getting his wig pushed mid-fight. One of the best things. This shit went viral. I don't know how many podcasts he's already been on, how many news networks he's been on. He's already selling merch like crazy. So the best thing that could have happened to Big Baby is that he got his cap peeled. Positive, yeah, Dana's going to push for unheard guys, which will result in better fights. And guys become stars. Guys that we never heard of will become stars on Zufa boxing because they're going to win in spectacular fashion versus top-level opponents. So you're going to see Dana White bring in guys who are nobody, who we never heard of, who become a star on Zufa boxing. Pause trap. Views is right. What I'm talking about. Ramirez. All publicity is good publicity. Learn that, Jay Smith. But that's what I just said. Big Baby, he got the greatest publicity that he's ever got in his career by getting his wig pushed. How you telling me to learn that, Ramirez? I'm telling you guys that was great. That's the best thing that could have happened to him. Couldn't get any better. Look, I'm going to put it to you like this. There's people who had never heard of Jarrell Miller who found out about him because he got his cap peeled. They never heard about him. And now they know who he is. In fact, he's going to now cross over from boxing into pop culture. Why? They're already making him endorsement offers. You're going to see him signing endorsement deals. You're going to be seeing the Big Baby wig piece, the Big Baby toupee, the Big Baby glue, the Big Baby serum to grow hair, all type of shit. And he's already selling the shirts. He already got the merch going on. That's it. Big Baby's a much bigger star because he got his wig pushed. Side, I'm still pissed. We never saw AJ versus Miller. That fight might happen now. A lot of doors are going to open for Big Baby. Because remember, he won that fight. We talking about him getting his toupee lifted. He won the fight. So now he won the fight. He's a bigger star. His name is viral. The options are going to be there for him. Now when he tell people, yo, let's fight, they're like, yeah, I'm going to get in the ring with this dude. I'm going to fight this dude right here. Ramirez, my bad. Nah. No big deal, my brother. I agree with what you say. Yo, publicity, that's where it's at. No matter what, because, and I'm going to say this, though. Big Baby knew how to capitalize on the publicity. He knew how to do it. And he handled it the right way. Why? Because if it was somebody who was really insecure about themselves, after getting their wig pushed, they would have went into hiding. They would have been embarrassed and, nah, yo, no cameras, get out of here. And they would act all crazy. Don't put the camera on my bald head. What's wrong with y'all? Nah, he did the opposite. He started showing off the dome piece, laughing at himself, having a good time with it, allowing other people to have a good time with it, going on the different podcasts and showing the dome piece and laughing with people. So he had such a good time with it that people bought in, and we started having a good time with him and appreciating the way that he handled it. Much respect to Big Baby, yo. Bam. Pasta track. Maybe Burrow planned on getting his wig split. Smart he wore that thing knowing that shit, but I doubt it. Now, I don't think he planned it because they had it double reinforced and everything. they had supposedly some tape and some glue and all type of shit. He paid $700 so that joint could stay in his dome piece, bro. And it just didn't happen, but it was the best thing that could have happened ultimately. Pause the track. So, right, Jay took that thing in stride. He took it in stride. Capitalized off of it. You seen him, you know, posting images of the bald head, posting images, posting memes. You know, he posted a lot of stuff about it. And it's like I told you, he's selling merch already about it. So this could have been a bad moment for him, where he could have been acting embarrassed and going into hiding and telling the cameras to leave him alone. And then he would have lost out on a bunch of money that he's now going to be making. You're going to see Big Baby making a shitload of money because he got his wig split. Pasta track. Well, shit, right. We here laughing about it still. We still talking about it. And not just us. They talking about it on different podcasts, on different networks, on news channels, news shows are talking about it. The real King George, I don't know about his situation before, but he's a lot happier now. Yo, right now you see Big Baby, it's all smiles, bro. MS, my stomach cramping. I can't stop laughing. Bro, but we could have stopped laughing about him getting his cap peeled, and he capitalizing off of it. He ain't embarrassed. He laughing to the bank, laughing his way to the bank. Shit, I wish I could get my wig pushed on TV. Damn, why I didn't get my wig pushed mid-fight. Well, I don't got a wig, but damn, something could have happened. Maybe dude could have punched a patch out, and I could have went viral like that. Would have been making hella money off of it. Hella money off of it, my peoples. So, hold on, because we're going to wait for the hydro grind. We're going to wait for the hydro grind to give it to him. My peoples, let's move on to the next one. Listen to this. Keyshawn Davis said, I see myself putting the same beating on Gervonta as Terrence put on Canelo. What you guys think about that? Keyshawn Davis see himself doing Tank Davis just like Bud did Errol Spence. Beating the shit out of him, according to the businessman. Now, we know that Tank Davis right now is dealing with legal situations. Yes, he is. But he's not out of boxing, y'all. He's not out of boxing. Don't get it twisted. It's like I told y'all, Tank Davis is only 30 years old. He's in his prime. He go down over these legal charges. He go down for 6 months, 8 months, some shit like that. He's still back out in 2026. He's still able to fight this year. Even if he go down for a whole year. At 31 years old, you're in your prime and you still can fight. My people, no ghost watching. Let's hit that like button, fellas. Pasta track. He who was the champ that Ray Leonard fought and the youngest champ ever, Benitez or something. You think he deserved to be in the 4 Kings? Hold on, because we're going way too far, bro. We'll get to that. That's way too far out of topic, my G. Side, That picture of Spence getting punched is wild. Damn, Keyshawn Davis, nasty word for Keyshawn Davis. But Keyshawn is saying that he will absolutely give Tank Davis the beating of a lifetime. The beating of a lifetime. Because that's what Terrence Crawford gave Errol, right? Will we see that fight? Gervonta Tank Davis versus Keyshawn Davis. That's a matchup of Davis versus Davis right there. Davis versus Davis, and Keyshawn wants that smoke. Which Davis do you guys have winning this fight? If Keyshawn Davis and Gervonta Tank Davis fight each other, who's winning that fight? That's a good one, y'all. That's a good showdown. That's a very good showdown. Side, I got Davis. I got Davis too. Track Tank. Track got Tank Davis whooping Keyshawn. Underrated will. Salute my brother God. Tank Davis beating the crap out of Keyshawn Davis. Whoa. There's a fight that could potentially happen, man. Skip a clipper. At 135, I got Tank. At 140, I probably got it 55-45 in Keyshawn's favor. So I got to say, that fight will definitely not happen at 135. 100% not happening, because we already know Keyshawn moved up to 140 because he couldn't make weight. He'll never fight at 135. But also, Skip a clipper, I promise you, Tank Davis will never fight at 135 either. Before getting into all this trouble, all this situation, he had already told us he was either going to fight Manny Pacquiao or move to 140. One of those two. He was not going to fight ever again at 135. I felt confident. In fact, I'm going to remind you guys, one day I went on this show and I said, my peoples, I promise you, Tank Davis cannot keep making 135. He cannot keep making that weight. He's going to move up to 140, I promise you. And guess what? The next day, Tank Davis announced that he was either going to fight at 140 or face Manny Pacquiao. So he can't make 135 anymore. You can forget about that. Remember, he was bulking up to fight Jake Paul, and that fight didn't happen. So I can pretty much tell you, Jay Stradamus is telling you, you'll never see Tank Davis fighting at 135 again, period. That's just not going to happen. Track. I know Tank was pushed by Pitbull, but I think Tank got more in him. Of course. No, pushed by Pitbull, got his ass whooped by Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach beat him up. But that's one fight. Styles make fights. So him having that performance versus Lamont Roach and ducking the rematch doesn't mean that he's going to struggle versus other opponents. Ramirez, come on, Jay Smith. You know Key Big Ass going to put hands on Tank, but Tank ain't no punk. He'll fight, but for sure it'll be his worst beating ever. Whoa. Tank will take the beating of a lifetime? I mean, Keyshawn Davis is saying, man, that he's going to do him like Terrence Crawford beat up Errol Spence. King Kong, Zufa Boxing was all knockouts, bro. Zufa Boxing gave us the goods. We got the goods from Zufa Boxing for sure on Sunday. Track. That'd be a good match for Tank against Pac-Man. Oh, nah, bro. I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see Manny Pacquiao fighting somebody who's young and in their prime when he already way washed up, close to 50 years old. Honestly, that fight don't make no sense to me. Tank is slick for wanting to fight Pacquiao and get a huge payday versus the old man. Pacquiao, you know who Pacquiao can fight, and it's a good fight? Floyd Mayweather. Why? They both about the same age. Floyd Mayweather's talking about coming back and fighting professionally this year. That's the fight to make. It'll be a rematch. It will be anticipated. Even though they both washed, a lot of people are going to watch it. A lot of people are going to watch that fight. But none of these young fighters need to be trying to fight Manny Pacquiao. Ramirez. But remember, Haney trying to fight Pac-Man also. They floated the name out there, but it's like I said, I don't agree with nobody trying to fight Pac-Man. None of these young fighters. But you also got to remember, Ramirez, Haney calling out, talking about Keyshawn and Shakur. Haney calling out other big names too. He not just calling out Pac-Man. Tank ain't calling out none of those names. He just was on some, I'm going to fight Pac-Man or go to 140. And then he was trying to get that fight, that bag with Jake Paul. Crazy. Side. And young guy trying to fight Manny is trying to get an easy lick, trying to get a big payday with the old man. Come on, man. I don't want to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. I want to see these guys trying to fight each other. Forget about Manny. Leave Manny Pacquiao to Floyd Mayweather. They both in their late 40s. That's an even matchup. Pasta track. Yeah, that'll be a great rematch. I have a little too much hope in Manny. Just a great guy, great boxer. I got to say, if Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight each other, it's going to be an interesting fight. And we'll all be tuning in. And it will be competitive. Will be competitive. Skip a clip. I think Tank versus Pitbull 2 is next. I'm not sure. It could be. It could be. But that depends on how long Tank is going to be inactive. We got to see how soon he'll be able to come back. I think, look, in my opinion, Tank will come back either late this year or early next year. In my opinion. Why? Because he's not going to do a bunch of years in jail over this. Remember, Tank has never gone to jail. He's gotten probation. You know, he's been on probation and shit like that. But he ain't never gone to jail. He's not a convict. And what do I mean by that? If he does get sentenced, he's going to end up serving mad little bit of time. Oh, shit, man. I'm trying. He's going to end up serving mad little bit of time. If he does. Remember, man, Tank got high-powered attorneys. He don't got a legal aid. Trying to sink him in. Trying to get him to go to jail. Tank got high-powered attorneys that's going to keep him out of jail. So anybody that think that Tank is going to go down for a long time, they got it twisted. They got it mad twisted. Anybody who think that Tank Davis is going to do years in prison, it's not happening. He's either not going to jail or getting a very short sentence. And part of the reason I say that is because my peoples, Tank Davis ain't killed nobody. He didn't get caught with 5,000 kilos of coke. For a domestic issue, first time going to jail, man, you're going to get 6 months. You're going to get 6 months. You're going to get 8 months. You're going to get a suspended sentence or some shit like that. Hold on, my peoples. So, with the legal situation Tank is dealing with, you can expect him to be back in boxing in no time. In no time, my peoples. So, when he comes back, you know, we're saying that he could potentially end up fighting Pitbull Cruz, that rematch. But we have to see where Pitbull's going to be at, because we don't know. Pitbull, he might end up on Zufa boxing, the way things are going. Pasta track, nah, he got good lawyers. Or big fines. Big fines might be. He's definitely, they probably going to send him to anger management classes and stuff like that. He's going to have to complete some type of program. He's going to be, you know, with the little bracelet and all of that. They're gonna impose some rules and regulations that he's going to have to follow. But he's not going to spend a long time in prison, and he'll be able to fight. Like I said, either by the end of this year, he's already fighting mid to late or early next year. Pasta track. These women got to know they dating a fighter. And we know they got to pick. And sometimes, unfortunately, shit happens. I don't know how bad he whipped her, but I'm sure he did smash her up. He definitely shouldn't use Floyd Tax's lawyers. So listen. You see how you're saying these women got to know better? These fighters got to know better, my G. You know why? Because if he does get convicted, she's going to end up getting the bag. The super bag. Because now, after he gets convicted, she's going to sue him in civil court. And once she sue his ass in civil court, if you already got convicted, you cooked. So it's these fighters who got to know not to date strippers. It's these fighters who got to know when you walk in a strip club, all these women see you as a trick. Don't be having no feelings for these women that's going to use you for money. And I promise you, Tank Davis will say his feelings about that girl. You in your feelings about a bottle girl from a strip club? You in your feelings? This is how you end up. Right there. And I talked about that before. Tom Seaver, Tank gotta know better. Wes Dustin, salute my brother. Bam! I talked about that before. Yeah, you could go in a strip club and meet a shorty and have her as a little side piece that you have a little good time once in a while. No problem. You're having a good time. But once you get into the territory where you got feelings, where that's your boo, where you buy her gifts, where you tell her don't talk to other men, where you tell her you better pick up the phone when I call you, oh, nah, you got problems. You got real problems. Wes Dustin, I almost dropped my egg sandwich on that one. Jay Smith is the pulpit this morning. Salute, my brother. Bam. You listen. Don't date a stripper. Don't fall in love with a stripper. And that's what it looked like Tank Davis did. Oh, no, the bottle service girl. They're different. And I got to tell you, man, I've never been to a strip club where the women working there with this women. That's different. No. She might not get on the pole and dance on the pole, but the price is the same. The objective is the same. And they all doing the same thing. They all looking for a trick that's going to trick on them. And Tank was the trick for that girl. And I told you guys the story before. I've seen that here in the Dominican Republic, where guys go to a strip club and they get gamed. They find a little stripper that's going to say, oh my God, you're so different. I never met nobody like you. Oh my God, you're just such a special guy. You have a different heart. Motherfucker don't know that she say the same shit to every dude who's giving her money. Every dude is different. Every dude is the nicest guy ever. Every dude, she never met a guy like that. But then, I had a stripper say shit like that to me. Oh my God, yo, you so different. I want to hang out with you. You're not like these other guys. And inside my head, I'm like, yeah, bitch, take these little $5 and shut the fuck up. I'm like, word, I'm different. Inside my head, man, shut the fuck up, bitch. Fuck out of here. But I'm giving her the, oh, word, I'm different. Ooh, I told you, yeah, I'm different. I'm not like them. Come on, bro. You really believe that shit? If you believe it, you're the equivalent of a Captain Saberhole. You was that guy that when we was in high school, I'm going to give you a true story. I'm going to give you a true story right now. Wes Dustin. Only way to get a stripper is to ignore her. That's a good one. I'm going to give you a true story, my peoples. When I was in high school, we used to cut school and go to City College. Those of you who was in New York, you know City College 138 in Amsterdam, 137 in Amsterdam. And we used to cut school from high school to go hang out in City College. We met a girl in City College. Think about it. I'm 17 at the time. We all 17, 16. Nobody there was a senior, so nobody was even 18. We met this girl in City College, And she started talking to us. Shakur Hands, that's where you graduated from. Check this out. We meet a girl in City College and she a swinger. She tell us straight up that she a swinger. Now, at the time, my parents was in Dominican Republic. So I had the apartment by myself. By the way, Shakur Hands, I used to live 2 blocks away from City College. 2 blocks. Within walking distance from City College. Between Broadway and Amsterdam, bro. So, we talking to this girl that we just met. She's in her 20s, and you know, when we young like that, we go crazy over them girls that's a little bit older. So we like, yo, what's up, what's up? You a swinger? Oh, shit, let's hang out. And she like, yeah, let's hang out. What's up? What you guys are up to right now? Now we cut in school. Let's chill in my house. 5 of us, my peoples, go to the house. We bring her to my apartment, my parents' apartment. And we all smash. And when I tell you we all smash, it wasn't just back to back to back. I'm talking about she giving dome piece to this kid. I'm hitting it from the back. She jaying this kid off. All type of crazy shit going down with this chick. Watch this. It gets to the point, bro, where she's giving me, you know, the dome piece. And my boys over there smashing from behind. And we looking at each other. And I'm laughing, right? And when she look up, I see her look up. I'm like. And then when she look back down, I'm like. And I would get serious every time she look up and shit. So we had the time of our lives, you know, a bunch of teenagers with a grown woman, a college student. We had the time of our life. Cool. Had a great time. Bro, how the next day we cut school, go to City College to see if we could see her again. And one of the dudes that was there was already in City College telling us to leave because that's going to be his boo. She really felt different about him. Bro. Explain to me how we just ran the train. We just went all out. Oh, when I tell you all out, I'm talking about balls deep in the ass all out. And this motherfucker talking about like, nah, yo, I'm going to wife her, B, because she said that I'm different. She said that she really... Bro, the next time that she went to my house, this dude became enemy to all of us. He became enemy to all of us, and he never spoke to us for years and years. He didn't speak to none of us again because we took his boo. Now, we all met her at the same time in City College. We all smashed her at the same time in my crib. Bro became my enemy? Nah, Jay, I did me dirty. I told you I was having feelings for her. What you mean you having feelings for her, bro? So that's the motherfucker that'll grow up to go into a strip club, and when they tell him, you're different, I never met nobody like you, they want to believe it. They want to believe it. No, my peoples. Strippers don't want to be yours. They want to take your money. That's the reality. That's the reality. West doesn't. Yo, some fellow, he fell in love, B. Fell in love. In love. To the point where for that woman, for that nice young lady, she was a very nice young lady. I can't knock her. But bro wanted to wife her, and she wasn't having that. She was having a good time with a bunch of young kids. That's it. She was having a good time. The real King George. When you're in your 20s, you got no responsibility. Forget bills. You paying stripper bills 365 days. You ain't got no bills. Pasta tried both sides winning back then. Corey B. Everyone falls in love sometimes. I mean, everybody does fall in love. But with a stripper, everybody ain't Captain Saberhole, bro. I never was that dude. Never. Yes, they gotta pay the fatty. Come on, man. So Back to Tank Davis. That's why he's in legal trouble right now. He actually thought that this bottle service girl was his boo. And guess what? Those who already know about it, some of you may have already been there because you're trifling. But Tootsie's is a place where NBA players go to. Rappers, ball players, all type of celebrity actors. Tank ain't the only millionaire that goes into that club. So these shorties, they dealing with a bunch of different millionaires who's really spending money out there, who's giving them all type of money. When this thing surfaces and you see what the allegations were about, basically this girl say, yo, and she's gonna have her evidence, she's gonna have all the text messages and all the stuff to back her up. Basically this girl say, yo, Tank Davis was acting crazy with me, possessive. He was like, I better not talk to any other man. When he calls me, the phone better ring once and I better answer it right away. So if I wouldn't answer, he would be mad at me. So when I saw that energy he was giving me, I cut him off. Blocked all his numbers, blocked his social media, blocked him from everywhere. And what was his response when I blocked him? He went to the spot, yanked my hair a little something, and acted out. And what? Because I've seen that here in Dominican Republic a bunch of times. What is that really happened with Tank Davis and why he behaved like that with that stripper? Imagine he already trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho. He already done bought her purses, done bought her expensive jewelry, done pay her rent, done bought her all type of shit. And now you don't want to be with me no more? God damn, I'm going to beat your ass. I see that all the time here in Dominican Republic. Women trick men out of mad money and then be like, yeah, I'm not feeling you anymore. And dudes be blacking out like, oh, shit. I done bought you a car, bought you an apartment, and you not feeling me no more? There's men who know how to take a L. Who just be like, damn, man, she got me. Fuck it. Fuck it, she got me. But there's men that's they're going to be like, oh, you think you got me? Oh, yeah, I'm going to get you back. We're not leaving it like that. MS, ain't no love or loyalty at Tootsie's. Not just at Tootsie's, man, at strip clubs. Them women is not there. They not there looking for love. They not there looking for the right one. They there to make that money. Wes Dustin, chill out, Jay Smith. Tank ain't going to give you those exclusive interviews. Nah, I think Tank will give me an interview one day. And I'll be like, you fucked up, Tank. What you want me to say if you fucked up? You was on some Captain Save-A-Ho shit. And you didn't have nobody to tell you that. I'm telling you that, my nigga. You should have had me around so I could tell you. Why you being Captain Save-A-Ho? Why you dating a bottle service girl? When you know goddamn well she go around more rich people, people that got more money than you. And yes, they smashing that ass. Why you think she wasn't picking up when you was calling? Somebody else was smashing. What you expect? The real King George Hydro. Where your man? He might be on next week. Yo, the Hydro Grind been incognito, bro. We don't know when the Hydro Grind. Not because the Hydro Grind, like when Crawford beat Canelo, it's not that he wasn't here. It's that he was ghost watching. He watching the show like, damn, man, damn, I can't jump in. They're going to cook me. Let me chill for a few days and just watch the show without saying nothing. They don't got to know I'm watching. Side, some of them real good at their job. They experts. Look, the biggest mistake that men make is thinking that strippers is just dumb women. That strippers, they just bimbos. Nah. Just because you stripping doesn't mean you dumb. A lot of these women, most of these women are real smart in the art of manipulation. There's strippers that have made men lose their family, lose their job, lose everything. And then after they lose everything, oh, you know, I'm not feeling you anymore. I don't think this is going to work out. After they cleaned them out. And that's why you see some dudes be out there killing these women. Because they don't lost everything. They think, oh my God, this is my new boo, and I'm going to have a new life with my baby. Then they lose their whole family, their wife, their kids, lose their job. But they like, I lost everything. Lose their home to their ex-wife. But then they be like, I'm cool because I bought my boo a home. And when they go to that home, stripper be like, nah, yo, this is my home. I ain't feeling you no more. You need to go. And that's when these dudes be blacking out. Blacking out. Corey B, Tank taking advice from Adrian Broner. AB, look, man, I got love for AB, but he, judging by his circumstances, he probably not the best guy to be giving advice. He need to be taking some. Side, they street smart in a different way. Strippers are very smart and they know how to manipulate men. Posse track. One last thing, and that's how they whoop, Jay. They be whooped. Side, listen to Keyshawn by Dave East. Keyshawn by Dave East. I'm going to have to listen to it. I've heard it, but I haven't listened to it. If I'm actually listening to it. But it's like I told you, man, strippers, they're very smart young ladies. And they will take a guy who's smart at his job, who's a college graduate, but he don't got that street smart like she does. And she will clean him out. There's a lot of men out there whose entire empire collapsed because of a stripper. She done cleaned him out. Made him lose his wife, made him lose his family, made him lose everything, and then dumped his ass. So this bottle service girl, she didn't make Tank Davis lose everything. He's rich. But how much do you think he gave her before she said, yeah, I'm not feeling you no more? I'm not surprised if he bought her expensive-ass jewelry, expensive-ass handbags. Because oftentimes, that's what rich dudes be doing. Them rich guys that be in strip clubs and get a girlfriend, that's what they be doing. That's how you keep them. You buy them a lot of expensive shit. You trying to buy that love. So when they leave you, you flabbergasted, bewildered, and perturbed. You wasn't expecting that. You thought you was the man. Adam, you think Keyshawn beast, belly dab? Man, listen, I want to see Keyshawn Davis fight Devin Haney. I want to see Keyshawn Davis fight Tank Davis. I want to see Keyshawn Davis fighting big names already because he's already at that level. Billy, man, we don't even know Billy. No disrespect to Billy, but, you know, name-wise, he's not at the level that these guys are where Keyshawn Davis is already operating. Ronaldo, good morning, my boy. Salute, family. Bam. Bam. Look, I'm going to say this right now. Keyshawn Davis, he feels comfortable with calling out Tank. He's been expressing interest in wanting to fight Tank Davis. And look what he says. I see myself putting the same baiting on Tank Davis that Terrence put on Errol Spence. That's the type of beating that he imagined himself putting on Tank. Will Tank Davis fight Keyshawn Davis? I don't know. I don't know if we'll see that fight. It's like I already told you guys. Tank is not... If the judge sentences him to jail, he's not going to jail for a long time. Remember that I told you this. If you're talking about high-powered attorneys, you're talking about, you know, lots of money in the table for lawyers to do everything necessary to keep him out of jail. So Tank Davis is either not going to jail, and if he does, it'll be for a short time. The idea of Tank Davis being done with boxing, forget about it. Tank Davis is definitely not done with boxing. Only if Tank Davis wanted to retire. Tank Davis want to retire, then that's a different ball game. because that's him wanting to retire. But I don't think he does. I don't think he's going to want to retire from boxing. Fighters, when they're that young, those competitive juices are flowing. So he could be dealing with a lot of, legal stuff, stressful situations, that right now he's not focused on boxing because of it. But once he get past these legal issues, Tank Davis is going to want to fight again. And he's still going to be one of the biggest stars in boxing. That's why I remind y'all, when Mike Tyson went to jail for, 2-3 years, he came out and right away he was the biggest star in boxing. Tank Davis being down for 6 months or a year, his star power is not just going to disappear. The moment he says, I'm coming back, that's it. It's going to be like he never left. One of the biggest stars in boxing, back in the building. Just like that. MS, J. Smith, having all the clients who married a younger online who makes good money, but she married this sugar daddy, making him believe they soulmates. She ran up his credit cards. Brother cooked financially. It's the reality, bro. A lot of these women get their little sugar daddy, and sugar daddies don't even be knowing that they looking for the best way to clean you out. They trying to clean you out. Simple as that. Don't never fool yourself into believing the stripper really likes me. She said that I'm different than everybody else. No. She trying to take your money. Simple as that. Gamer guy, unpopular opinion. Tank out of his prime, a great fighter, one of the best. Gervonta doesn't want to take this kind of fight at this time. I don't know the out of his prime thing, bro. At 31 years old, that's at 30. Nah, that's outside of the realm of possibility. Like, he's dead center in his prime. Now, him not wanting to take the fight, that's different. That's not something that, I don't know exactly what he wants to do or what direction he's going to go in when he goes back into boxing. But he's not out of his prime, bro. Not at that age. There isn't anything that we've seen from Tank Davis to suggest that. Shakur Hands, why Dad got the BM prop and he sued Shorty? Yeah, Devin Haney dealing with it, man. Devin Haney dealing with it too. But Devin Haney got. He definitely got. He got taken for a sucker. Just like Tank Davis. Like, the moment this girl was like a social media girl. One of them girls that be on social media almost showing their ass and taking every single picture with their ass and their tits. That was one of those type of girls, B. That's the same shit as going in the strip club and trying to date a stripper. You don't know that shorty trying to get your money. Your ass is cooked. Cooked. Devin Haney was a sucker. The moment I saw the shorty that he was with, I was like, oh, man. I guess Bill Haney letting him learn that lesson on his own. I'm thinking Bill probably tried to tell him, son, what you doing? All right, you say she love you, do your thing. But Bill saw that shit coming a mile away, I promise you. Devin was tricking and he got. Now this girl trying to take all his money or took mad money. Shakur Hands, yeah, he been tricking off hard. You see what happened with Devin Haney is that he started making big money and he started getting attention from these model-looking girls. He started getting attention from these social media girls. And he ain't never had that attention before. So instead of him just having a good time with them, he ended up wifing one of them. And he going through it. Going through it, my people. Because that's the thing. These women, they get with these guys. They try to give them babies. And these dudes don't even know that getting pregnant by you already guarantees them 18 years worth of checks from your ass. She locked you in for 18 years. And then in a marriage, we divorced. Now she's going to take half of your shit. Now she's going to take a house. Now she's going to take multiple cars. She's going to take jewelry. She's even going to take your goddamn championship belts. Yo, Shane Mosley, the chick who Shane Mosley got with, Yo, she took half of his championship belts. How could that even happen, bro? This dude fought his ass off in the ring for those belts, got beat up for those belts. And the chick took half of the belts. Half of the belts, half of the money, and half of everything. Because back then, it was VHS tapes. Remember the VHS for the VCRs? And Shane Mosley sold a lot of those with the Oscar De La Hoya fight and with other fights. He sold a lot. Chick got half of the money, half of the revenue for those tapes she got. Like, she got them down bad, yo. Bad. And here's the thing about this. You see, when women supposedly take half, they end up taking more than half. Because they take half, right? But guess what? We went to court for a year. You also got to pay the lawyer fees for both of y'all. And when you're rich and you're fighting for a year, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in lawyer fees. Possibly into the millions. You got to pay that shit too. But then you also got to pay alimony. So you're not just going to pay the child support. You're also going to give her money for the rest of her life. You're going to support her. Now with your money, she going to be smashing some broke guy. That she's buying clothes for him, giving him everything, moving him into the apartment that you bought for her. So you want to be falling in love with strippers, that's what you get. The real King George, they are called gold diggers. Those are the successful gold diggers. Because to be honest, most gold diggers end up washed up and smashing with anybody for a biscuit, a chicken wing, and a beer. That's the story of most gold diggers. They have a great time during their youth, but you washed up by the time you're 30 years old. Ain't nobody dealing with you. Wade Barati, tricks get tricked. That's a fact. That is 100% fact. Steven, you again, what's up? Again? What do you mean again? This is the first time. Saluto, bam. My peoples. Shakur Stevenson says he already did Zepeda in. He already did Teofimo in. Ryan Garcia is next. Is there a possibility that we get Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia in 2026? I'm going to tell you right now, that fight can actually happen. Do not get it twisted. We might actually get Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia this year. Wade Barati, that would be a good one. Now, I'm going to tell you why this fight could happen. If Ryan Garcia beats Mario Barrios, he's going to become a welterweight champion. And you guys know that Shakur Stevenson, he's about accomplishing bigger and better things. And also about becoming a bigger star. What happens if Ryan Garcia beats Mario Barrios and he's already said, Shakur, let's do a catch weight at 144. Shakur already said he's down with it. He already said he's down with the catch weight. So this is a big fight. It's a big money fight. It's a championship fight. And I see Shakur Stevenson wanting to make that fight happen. But it also shows you how big it was for Shakur to beat Teofimo Lopez. Why? A lot of people didn't want to fight Shakur. A lot of people didn't want to get in the ring with him. All of a sudden, he dominates Teofimo Lopez. Stocks skyrocket. Star power goes up. Now Ryan Garcia wants to fight him. Devin Haney calling out his name. Lamont Roach calling out his name. Before, Shakur couldn't even get an opponent because nobody wanted to fight him. Now you're seeing a lot of people want to fight him. Now a lot of people want to get that payday. You want payday. He won that Shakur Stevenson payday. Now they want to fight. That's what happens when your star power goes up. It's kind of like Terrence Crawford. All the people who didn't want to fight him, once he beat Errol and his star power skyrocketed, they all wanted to fight him. They all talking about, it would be an honor to fight Bud. Everybody wants that payday. And Shakur Stevenson now has reached a level of star power with that last win that you're going to see a lot of people now want to fight Shakur. They didn't want to fight him before. Y'all don't remember when Ryan Garcia, Shakur's boring and he don't want to fight him because what's the point? Now he want to fight him. Now after Shakur got this monster win, he want to get in the ring with him. So there you have it. Shakur Stevenson, he didn't have options before because people didn't want to fight. Now he's going to have options. Because if Ryan Garcia loses on Saturday, I don't think Shakur's going to be interested in Mario Barrios just because he's not the type of star that Ryan Garcia is. But he's going to have options at 140. And he can move back down to 135, which he said he would. He already said, yo, if I don't get a big star, if I don't get a big name, I'll go back down to 135. Conor Benn, he's already capping. I think Conor Benn knows that he's food for Shakur. I think he knows this guy's going to cook me. Why? He asked for $20 million for a rehydration clause. $20 million? Bro, but you haven't even made $20 million for a fight. How you never made $20 million for a fight and you're talking about $20 million for a rehydration clause? You don't want to fight, bro. You don't want to fight. You know there's no such thing as no $20 million for no rehydration clause. And, son, to consider, you fought Chris Eubank Jr. You didn't pay him $20 million for a rehydration clause. You put him on a rehydration clause. So why with a guy moving up, you don't want to go on a rehydration clause? So yeah, Conor Benn don't want that. Conor Benn don't want that smoke. I'm trying to tell you. Wade Barati agreed. Have a blessed day, brother. Salute, family. Bam. Likewise, my brother. God bless. Moving on to the next one. Listen to this. You guys have to listen to this one. I gotta see your opinion on it. Let me see what you guys got to say about this one because it's quite interesting. Boom. Boom. Jermell Charlo says to Eddie Hearn, I'll fight your boogeyman. He's referring to Jarrell Boots Ennis. What you guys think about that? Jermell Charlo versus Jarrell Boots Ennis. Because, yo, if Virgil Ortiz duck, Boots got to find another opponent. He got to find another opponent. And Virgil Ortiz is trying to duck badly. Badly. So if that's the case, Boots just can't keep chasing him forever. Boots got to fight somebody else to fight. Side, great fight. Jermell been inactive though. So I got Boots. Shackle hands, good fight. But Charlo need a payday. I mean, that's what Errol Spence said. Errol said, yeah, he need a payday. That's why he calling me out. He know how the sparring went between me and him. Apparently, Errol Spence put all type of hands on Jermell Charlo. But I'm going to tell you what. Charlo versus Boots is a heck of a fight. Shackle hands, I think he can fight. Yeah, look, man, Jermell Charlo and Jamal Charlo, both of the Charlo brothers, they can fight, man. They special fighters. And you never seen a boring Charlo fight. Except when Jermell fought Canelo. But every other fight in his resume, he's out. Ronaldo. That's good. We need fights like that. Ortiz don't want it. If Virgil Ortiz is going to duck Jarrell Boots Ennis, got to find a good fight to make. Marky, who you got, Barrios or Garcia? I haven't made that prediction yet, man. It's been tough to make it. I'm going to make it, I promise you. But I just haven't been able to yet, man. That's a tough one. It's a real tough one. Shakur Hands, I was only down on him because the nonsense he did to Bud. And look, man, Jermell Charlo versus Bud Crawford, that would have been a heck of a fight. That would have been a heck of a fight, but that's one of those that got away from us. Ronaldo, was nice. But I'll be real, at times, he get hit too much. And I'm going to tell you something about that, bro. Jarrell Boots Ennis, if he wanted to, he could be the Matrix out there. He could be damn near impossible to hit. But you know what happens if he just decides to turn into the Matrix and be a defensive fighter? People not going to give him his flowers. They're going to do the same shit they do to Shakur, even though Shakur is now, you see how he's been fighting, but they'll build a narrative that he's boring. So Boots deliberately get on the inside and trade leather with all them guys. And he's going to get hit. But he does that because he's trying to keep raising his star power. He literally puts on a show for the fans. He goes out there and fights in a way that the fans are going to be entertained. He wants to turn into the Matrix, bro. He's hard to be hit. I've seen Boots be out there like, can't touch him. Can't touch him. Franchise, good from Germany, fam. Salute. There, my brother, and salute to everybody in Germany tuning in, man. One fighting fighter. But that's the thing. Because let me give you an analogy so you see. In the future, a few years down the line, you're gonna see Shakur Stevenson and Jarrell Boots Ennis at the very top, gunning for that #1 spot. Whoever get the bigger wing goes to #1. Then back down to #2. Then back down to #1. You see how we had Naoya Inoue, Terrence Crawford, and Usyk, and they just kept battling it out for that #1 spot? You're going to see that with Boots, with Shakur, possibly with Devin as well, and with a few others where they're going to be at that top spot gunning it out. So how does Boots stand out? By giving us those exciting fights. That's how his star power keeps going up. But if Boots wanted to, he could fight a boring style, or what some people call boring, and he will cook his opponents and make them look easy. Easy. But that's not going to help him grow the way that he wants to. You got to stand in there and mix it up and take more punishment than he should at times. Shakur Hands, talking about I'm busy, and he went from that to, it'll be an honor to share the ring with Bud. Yeah, that was goofy as hell. That was goofy as hell. This is the big boys right here. Go handle Arrow. You got your hands full over there in the little guys division. It would be an honor to fight Bud. He did what I couldn't do. You see? That's what happens. Terrence Crawford showed us that he's the best of this generation. He showed out to the fullest. Shakur Hands, watch he better not mess around and get Andy Cruzed. Damn, man, Andy Cruz. And I feel bad for Andy Cruz. You know why? Because I know that Andy Cruz is one of these guys who's going to accomplish a lot in the sport of boxing. He's going to do a lot. But for now, he got to deal with this L. He got people discrediting him, people saying that he's a hype job, people saying that he's not that good. You know, Andy Cruz going to have to deal with that. But I promise you, he's a special fighter, and he's going to accomplish some big things in the sport of boxing. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, my peoples. You're going to see him do it big. But for now, you know, he's going to have to deal with it. We're living in the era of boxing where you take one loss, your stock stumbles, and everybody try to shit on you. And Andy Cruz is going to have to deal with that. Shakur Stevenson, all these L's aren't bad. Some of these cats just got cheated. I mean, honestly, I felt like Andy Cruz edged it out. I felt like he edged it out on that fight. But it was close enough to where I can't say he got robbed. Now, Bakram Ortiz, I definitely felt he got robbed. You know, Josh Kelly was their guy. It was, you know, Bakram Ortiz was fighting against Josh Kelly, against the commentators, against the judges, against the crowd. He was fighting against the whole England out there. And that's how they did him. They did him dirty. They did him super dirty. So my peoples, have you already come to the conclusion that this selfie from Virgil Ortiz shows what he about when it comes to Jarrell Boots Ennis? This selfie that he took shows you how he feel about Boots. Boots come up, Virgil turn into a duck. The real King George. I held my friend's IBA boxing belt in the hospital when I had my first toe amputated. Whoa, did you take a picture with it? Did you take a picture with the belt and all of that? I mean, no, I hope you got your picture with the belt and all that. Plus, you're a champion, bro. You're a champion. You've accomplished to be a champion. That's one thing, my peoples. Remember, it's world champions in boxing, but you can also be a champion in life. Let me give you an example. And this is in my book. In my book. If you're a father and you're taking care of your kids, you're a world champion in life. You won the championship in life. There's a lot of things that make you a champion. Trail Bruce. Bam, salute, my brother. What you think about this selfie from Virgil Ortiz? He took a selfie right after he tried to get out the Golden Boy contract. And they sent me this selfie that he took. I gotta say, my peoples, look, I wanted to see Virgil Ortiz versus Jarrell Boots Ennis. I've been wanting to see that fight since they was both in the 135 division. Been wanting to see it. And Chuck Bruce, nasty work. You're serious? Bro, look, that was a selfie that he took when he tried to get out the contract. So, I need you guys to understand, man, we've been calling for this fight since they was in the 147 division at Welterweight. We wanted to see them fight each other. Virgil Ortiz himself and his team was calling Boots a duck when Boots said, nah, I'm trying to get a tune-up at 154, and he went in for Lima. They was calling him a duck. So now when Virgil is in a position where he can fight Boots next if he wanted to, he decided that he don't want to stay with Golden Boy. He want to be a free agent now. You want to be a free agent instead of fighting Jarrell Boots Ennis. That's it. The duck is real. The duck is official. What if he cannot get out of his Golden Boy contract? You see, my peoples, I tried to tell you this before. Virgil Ortiz is going to be facing inactivity. I try to tell you guys this. He's going to be facing inactivity. Why? Look, let me show you. Let me show you, my peoples. I only speak facts. I only speak facts, y'all. Look at this. What does it say right here? The Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Jarrell Boots Ennis fight is officially on hold after federal judge granted Golden Boy Promotions a temporary restraining order. You know what that means? A federal judge granted Golden Boy a temporary restraining order. What that means is that Virgil Ortiz can't do shit, can't fight nobody while this is being resolved. As long as this thing is in court, Virgil can't fight nobody. I told you he was going to experience some inactivity, right? And guess what? Look at the second paragraph. The court battle census on whether Ortiz became a free agent when Golden Boy's DAZN deal expired on December 31st. So Virgil Ortiz is trying to say, I'm a free agent because the contract expired with DAZN. But you don't got a contract with DAZN. You've never had a contract with DAZN. Your contract is with Golden Boy, and that has not expired. So you're taking Golden Boy to court to try to get out your contract, and the judge ruled in Oscar's favor and put your ass on hold. So while we dealing with this case, you can't fight. And then if the judge determines that you cannot leave your Golden Boy contract, now you're either going to have to fight Boots or deal with some serious inactivity. So I've been telling you guys this from the beginning. Trying to duck Boots is going to leave Virgil in a situation where he's going to be inactive, where he's not going to be able to fight nobody. Nobody. Because think about it. If you got a promotional company, if you got your own promotional company and a fighter that you built up is trying to leave you, and he lose in court, you beat his ass in court, what you gonna do after that? You gonna let him do whatever he wanna do? Or you gonna tell him, you're gonna have to do what I say, homie. You in contract with me. Beat your ass in court. Now Boo's gonna beat your ass for being goofy and trying to leave. Charlo Bruce, honestly, not having any belts on the line for a fight like this don't sit right with me. Let them both go get a strap, and I'm down for it later in the year. But here's the problem with that. When they didn't have a belt, Virgil Ortiz was calling out Boots. When they didn't have a belt, everybody was saying that Boots was ducking Virgil. When Boots said, I'm going to get a tune-up, I'm going to fight Lima first, everybody said that Boots was ducking Virgil. Now that Boots called his bluff, Virgil's trying to duck. A lot of people saying, no, well, the fight don't really make sense. I would prefer to wait. Virgil don't want to fight, bro. If he don't want to fight right now, he's not going to want to fight later. He don't want to fight. It's already a proven fact that he don't want to fight Jarrell Boots Ennis. Ricardo Mayer, Virgil signed a fight with Turkey. And Oscar was upset. That's fake news. You literally made that up out of thin air. Or somebody lied to you. Look, bro. Read. Educate yourself. Stop saying that's something that you heard from a super fan. They never signed no fight. They never signed no contracts to fight Boots. Why? Because Virgil is trying to leave his Golden Boy contract. You cannot sign with Turkey when you got a contract with Golden Boy. So now let me clarify that for you, because you misquoting what Blue Blood said. Turkey is the one who made an offer for them to fight when Boots was going to fight Lima. And Boots was like, nah, I want a tune-up. So you're talking about back then, when Virgil said, I'm ready to fight Boots, and Boots was like, I want a tune-up. Don't mix it up, my guy, with what's going on right now. That don't got nothing to do with what's going on right now. You're bringing up what happened when Boots turned it down, that he was moving up to 154. Blue did not say that happened now when Virgil Ortiz trying to get out of his contract, bro. Don't put words on Blue like that. Don't do it like that. Because Blue never capped, ever. I like the way that you try to take what happened last year when Boots was going to fight Lima and you try to make it seem like that's right now. Not right now, bro. You're talking to the human algorithm. You can't sneak that one past me, bro. Have you been watching? Come on, Ricardo, man. You've been watching. You know you can't get those things past me. Don't do it like that, bro. You really try to take the shit from when Lima was going to fight, that Turkey offered a contract, and Virgil team said that they signed it, and Boots didn't want to fight because he was doing the tune-up. That has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on right now. And what's going on right now is that Virgil Ortiz is trying to get out of his Golden Boy contract to avoid fighting Boots. That's what's going on right now. But I'll give you the kudos for trying it. I'll give you the kudos for trying it. You try to grab old information and try to make it new information. That's not going to work over here, bro. You're talking to the human algorithm. The real King George. Okay, back. There's the belt. That's my profile picture. What belt? You know the profile picture like this small on the screen, so I can't tell what belt you have there. Oh, okay, the belt that the IBA belt. Pasta track, damn. You still on nice. Off topic, Jay, what's the best fight you ever seen? It's hard for me to point out one fight because there's been so many good ones. I could say, for example, Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, 1. That was like one of the best slugfests that I ever seen. Pasta track, damn, that sucks, being stuck in a contract. I don't know much about dude, but why he wants to leave Golden Boy? Because Golden Boy is trying to make him fight Boots. So he's between a rock and a hard place right now, because if he doesn't win in court and he's stuck with Golden Boy, then he's going to have to fight Boots. Going to have to fight Boots. But if he leave Golden Boy, he won't have to fight him anymore. That's it. He'll become a free agent and he can fight whoever he wants. That's what he's trying to do. Avoid Jarrell Boots Ennis at all costs. That's where he's at. The real King George. Don't be like Hydro, Ricardo. You see that Ricardo got called out on that fake news that he tried to put out there. Try to take old news and make it into new news. You're talking to the human algorithm, but you'll never be able to get those past me. Never. People always try me like that. People always try me. They try to take some old shit and try to make it new shit and try to make it fit the new narrative that they want. It's like, damn, bro, you don't realize I'm the human algorithm. You're never going to be able to get those past me ever. Like, I'm on point when it comes to that. And I'm going to catch it every time. Ooh, my boy said, nah, Blue said it. Talking about the old shit from when Boots was going to fight Lima. Just business. Put your belt on Box Center. I'll fight you for the title. Ooh. Posse track. He ducking. These fighters got to fight each other. They ain't helping their own sport. I already told you, man. Look, I got the selfie from Virgil Ortiz right there. That's the Virgil selfie. Marky, come on. Who you got, Barrios or Garcia? I haven't been able to make that prediction, bro. I haven't been able to make it, yo. I'm not just going to throw a name out there. I don't make predictions to lose. I don't make predictions to be wrong. So if I don't have it, yeah, I can't answer it. Shakur hands trying to play my bro Hydra. Watch, he gonna peek his head in. Man, the Hydra grind probably been watching for a hot minute. Nice and quiet. He don't want to get called out on the cap he tried to spit last week. Marky, you say you make the decision today. Come on, Jay Smith. I want to make it today, bro. But if I don't have it, what you want me to do? I don't have it. I want to make it, bro. But I just don't have it. I don't have it, my guy. Jay says, good morning, Jay Smith. I'm here. Let's go. Salute, JJ. Bam. Posse track. All I'll say is Ryan looking big and fast. Ryan is looking good. Ryan is looking good. He looking strong. It's just that Mario Barrios, man, he's a legitimate world champion. Look at Conor Benn. Conor Benn says he bet Mario Barrios is gonna knock Ryan Garcia out. He's betting that Ryan Garcia getting knocked out by Mario Barrios. Jay said that Jay Smith, did you see Ryan didn't make weight? Coño, loco. Ryan Garcia and the bullshit with the weight. At least it was like the 15-day weight check-in that he didn't make weight for. Hopefully when they go to the weigh-in, he's going to make it. Because that's going to be, if he don't make weight, the title might not be on the line. So he won't be able to become a world champion. Just like with Devin, remember, he beat Devin and he didn't get the title. They overturned the decision. But the original outcome was that he beat him and gave him his first L. Mr. KO, I got to go with Ryan, but I think Barrios is more disciplined. Pasta track, yes, most definitely, but I always like Ryan. He's a good role model for the kids and whatnot. Now, I got to tell you something, man. I've always liked Ryan Garcia. I always felt like he was going to become a world champion. There's a few things that threw me off about him, but then, he's dealing with the mental health situations, and I know that's difficult. I believe it. I've always believed him when it comes to that part of it. So I try to give him some leeway, some empathy, because I know that it's tough. John Parham, is Hydro Grind still hiding or is he too busy grinding? Listen, the Hydro Grind, we haven't heard from him since Friday, bro. Nah, I know that he's doing a little ghost watching. He'll jump in and watch a little bit like, damn, now they're going to cook me. He's waiting until we're not talking about Virgil and Boots. Because he know he floated a fake narrative, and I'm going to hold that for him for when he show up. So I know that he tuning in and watching and doing a little ghost watching. Probably didn't even hit the like button because we was talking about it. The real King George, I wish I had belt like that. I asked him, I can have it. He said, nope. It's his baby, though. He has others. I could imagine, bro. And look, I'm going to tell you like this. I understand, though. Because once you get a belt in the ring, you're not trying to give that up like that. That's going to mean a lot to a fighter. And let me give you an example, right? And I find this hilarious. I see boxing YouTubers who never fought a day in their life. And they got belts. They put belts in the background in their studio, wherever they at. Like, yeah, look at my belts. Like, bro, I've been in the ring. I've been in the ring as an amateur. I've been in the ring as a professional. You never gonna see me having belts anywhere and displaying them like they're mine. Because I never earned a title inside the ring. I never did. So I got so much respect for them belts that I wouldn't have one. Now, it's different in your case because that's a friend of yours who brought it for you. If I'm friends or I'm cool with somebody that got a title and they bring it over, you damn right I'm going to take a picture with that joint. Bam, 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 hell yeah. But I'm never, you know that you can buy replica belts, right? You could buy a replica, IBF belt, a replica WBO belt. You could buy them belts, identical replicas. But you're never going to see me doing that because I ain't never win a title. I don't want to display no title. John Parham, if Ryan take Barrios seriously and it's locked in, he's sleeping Barrios. But I predict Ryan going down. One time, Barrios gonna sit him down. Whoa. Jayas in their house. Let's talk about flowers and ducks. Maybe he will come out. Nah, man, listen. The Hydro Grind is gonna be hiding until we no longer talking about Virgil and Boots. But I already got a screenshot. Like, the Hydro Grind is going to say, good morning, my peoples. And right there, I'm going to put the screenshot. Boom, the Hydro Grind. What you say about this? We've been waiting for you. I said the Hydro Grind is not going to be able to escape it. Trust me. I got a screenshot saved just for him. Boxing track. Some people say Ryan saw some weird shit in Hollywood and it got to him. But that could just be internet BS. But Ryan said he really wasn't drinking before the Haney fight and it was for press. Y'all be walking around with the heavyweight WBC green belt all the time. Look, so I'm going to say this. Ryan Garcia said a lot of things when he was supposedly crazy before the Haney fight. He said a lot of things that turned out to be true. Remember, he was talking about kids getting kidnapped, kids, all the things that are happening to kids. Shit, bro, all that shit. Like, if you go back and you look at what he was saying, all that shit turned out to be true. So, do with that what you will. And the reality is, man, that when you get to a certain level that we're not on, and you get to hang around people that we don't get to hang around with, yo, you get information that it never gets to us. You get to be around people that are talking about subjects that are never going to be addressed around us. So, I believe Ryan Garcia seen and heard shit that we ain't never seen, we ain't never heard about. The real King George, I asked him to bring one just for motivation, not to give up. He didn't have to be surprised by me, to surprise me. Pasta track. That's what I'm saying. And Ryan, seemingly a good dude, that will mess him up. I'm telling you, Ryan Garcia has dealt with mental health issues, and there's things that he's seen that will trigger that'll make it worse. Shakur hands, we don't rock. We're goofballs. We're goofball WBC, goofball Mauricio Sulaiman. Mauricio the dummy Sulaiman. His belt is a goddamn trinket at this point. Eugene Johnson, I got Ryan by stoppage. He wants a belt and is serious now. That's the thing, man. And I've said this before. Hold on, let me take off this picture of Virgil Ortiz. Hold on, y'all. Because while we got a selfie of Virgil Ortiz, we don't, come on now, hold on. Let's look for something else. The Virgil Ortiz selfie coming off. Hold on one second, my people. We already been displaying Virgil Ortiz up in here. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Bam! My peoples, if Ryan Garcia beats Mario Barrios, he's already going back and forth with Shakur Stevenson. And he's expressing interest in that fight. I know for a fact that Ryan is not taking Barrios lightly at all. Pasta track, Virgil just a baby duck. You're a duck, man. JJ's in the house. Here we go. Let the games begin. Look, man, if Ryan Garcia is able to pull it off, 2 left hooks, salute, my brother. Bam! Did you see the Virgil Ortiz selfie that we got in the building? We got a selfie directly from Virgil Ortiz. Bam! There goes the selfie. This was a selfie that Virgil Ortiz took the same day he tried to get out of his Golden Boy contract. Exclusive selfie from Virgil, my peoples. We got it right here on Box Center. But this is a fight that I would love to see. I really would love to see Ryan Garcia fight Shakur Stevenson. If he beats Mario Barrios, there's a possibility that we could get that fight this year. 2026. We could get this fight. Charlo Bruce, oh my God, what happened to Virgil? You see it, man. He trying to duck. He trying to duck Jarrell Miller Ennis. Scared to death. Scared to death, my peoples. And Oscar's not trying to let him go that easy. You like, nah, you got to fight Boots, son. Those of you who were here know that I said this before. If Virgil don't want to fight Boots, he's going to have to deal with inactivity. Inactivity. And that's what we're seeing now. With that order that the judge put, granting Golden Boy a stay, that means that Virgil Ortiz can't fight nobody. Let that sizzle in your spirit. You can't fight nobody unless or until we decide the outcome in this case. So what are you going to get from Virgil Ortiz for now? Inactivity, exactly like I told you. Can't fight nobody. You want to be a free agent? How you going to be a free agent? You're on the contract with Golden Boy. You're not in contract with the Zone. You've never had a contract with the Zone. Inactivity, my peoples. That's what Virgil Ortiz is going to get for trying to get out of his contract with Golden Boy and trying to duck Jarrell Boots Ennis. That's the way it plays out. Hanuman Infinity. Where are you from, bro? Dominican Republic. Positrack. What's worse? Positrack. That's a big fight. But my boy Ryan better hide in the gym for like a year if he looking at Shakur Stevenson. I mean, he's already down with it. He even posted on social media that he's willing to fight Shakur at a catch weight, 144. And Shakur was like, let's make it. 144, let's make it. I'm cooking your ass. Shakur Stevenson, you guys know, man, he feel like he can beat everybody. He feel like he can whoop everybody's ass because it's true. He can beat everybody. I'm going to put it to you like this. For Shakur to lose, he would have to jump up too many divisions where he's fighting somebody that's too big for him. He would have to jump up to 154, 160. But nobody in and around his weight class can beat him. There is nobody. He's that dude. That's why he's going to become the face of boxing. And by the way, I told you guys, there's a group of like 5, 6 fighters who will all be gunning to become the face of boxing as Canelo starts to exit the sport. Canelo got one foot out the door. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo wins the WBC title and retires. Because you guys know Mauricio the Dummy Sulaiman, he wants Canelo to be a world champion. He wants Canelo to have that green belt. Abundant. Tank will knock Shakur out, bro. Nah. Shakur beating the shit out of him. You're talking about Tank will knock Shakur out? Tank don't believe you, my G. Tank team don't believe you. Because if they did believe you, they would have made that fight. You never in your life seen Tank say, I want to fight Shakur. There's a reason for that, fam. One thing is what you believe, and one thing is what they believe. They don't believe they could beat Shakur. They would have made that fight a long time ago. They would have made that fight. You see Shakur calling out Tank. You see Shakur say, I want to fight Tank. You ain't never seen Tank express no interest in fighting Shakur. There's a reason for that. The Hydro Grind is in the building, my peoples. Whoa, the Hydro Grind has showed up. The Hydro Grind. I got something for you, man. You may have been ghost watching, and you may have already seen it, but we've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, the Hydro Grind. Let me read these 2 paragraphs for you. Virgil Ortiz versus Jarrell Boots Ennis fight is officially on hold after a federal judge granted Golden Boy Promotions a temporary restraining order. Magic words, they granted Golden Boy Promotions. Second paragraph, the court battle centers on whether Ortiz became a free agent when Golden Boy's The Zone deal expired on December 31st. So the Hydro Grind. Remember last week you said that Virgil Ortiz was leaving Golden Boy because he wanted Oscar to give him less money so they could make the fight? I told you you either made that stuff out of thin air or you was listening to Virgil Ortiz super fans. There's the facts right there. Remember you told me, Jay, respectfully, you need to watch more videos. Because Robert Garcia and Virgil's team, this is what they said. And remember I told you, like, you don't say McDonald's got the best French fries because McDonald's told you they got the best French fries. Well, those are the facts right there, my G. Look at the facts right there. The reason Virgil is not fighting Boots is because he's saying, I'm a free agent. I don't have to because I'm a free agent. I can fight whoever I want as a free agent. And Golden Boy, this is in federal court already, by the way. It's in federal court. And the judge is putting a restraining order to where Virgil can't fight nobody. You don't want to fight Boots? Cool. You can't fight nobody. We're going to have to review these contracts to see if you're really a free agent. So Oscar De La Hoya is trying to make him fight Boots, and Virgil saying, no, I'm a free agent. I don't have to fight him. I'm a free agent. Okay, we're going to find out. But talk to me, the Hydro Grind. What more do we need to show you for you to take back the fake news that you floated last week? Do I need to look for the actual court docket and start sharing you now the legal documentation? Or are you ready to say, yeah, I was capping last week, or somebody lied to me, some Virgil Ortiz superfan lied to me, and I decided I'm going to spread this? Come on, the Hydro Grind. Own up to it, bro. You got to own up to the fake news that you was trying to spread last week. Abundant, B.O. Lamar Roach will also knock Shakur out. What boxing are you watching, brother? Oh, my God. You got everybody knocking Shakur out, right? You just got everybody knocking Shakur out. Just say you don't like Shakur, bro. That'll be good enough. Just say, I don't like Shakur. Because at this point, everything that you ever say about Shakur, I already know it. Chill out. We already know how you feel about Shakur. We're not even talking about it. That's it. Move on from Shakur. I got you, bro. I already know where you're going with that. The Hydro Grind. Your Honor, at the time I made my statement, I was only aware of the facts Ortiz coach, manager, and lawyer was saying. But, bro, how are you going by what Ortiz coach and Ortiz manager are saying? When have you ever seen a coach and a manager say, yeah, our guy is ducking, our guy doesn't want to fight? You never heard that before? Look, you prefer to go by hearsay than what the court is saying, than what the lawsuit is about. Because I tried to tell you last week, the lawsuit is not about money. Virgil's not suing because he feel like he's owed money. He's not suing because he feel like he got robbed. He's suing because he's trying to get out of his contract. That has nothing to do with what the manager said and what the coach said. No. It's the reality that he's trying to become a free agent to avoid fighting Boots. Look, bro. Look, the Hydro Guy. I even got a selfie from Virgil Ortiz right here. Look at this selfie. I got the selfie right here, bro. Mr. KO, the Shakur hate is real. Man, listen, people been saying Shakur gonna get knocked out since I don't know when. Apparently everybody knocks out Shakur Stevenson. That's the type of shit you say when you thought that Teofimo was gonna knock him out. You get more mad at Shakur every day. So Abundant only showed up to the chat to say that Shakur gets knocked out. He ain't say nothing else but Shakur get knocked out. Take a 24-hour break, Abundant. You need a 24-hour break. Come back tomorrow. Then tomorrow you say something dumb and I just block you. Boxing Track. This show is a riot today. John Pound, damn. Hydra, he has some photos ready for you, G. The real King George. Hydra don't want to get body shots from everyone. JJ said, Jay Smith, get him the fuck out of here. Yeah, that was just some dummy looking for attention. I gave him a little 24 hours. You know what? I gave him 24 hours, but I'm going to be honest. That 24 hours doesn't even really sit right. I had to block that goofy. Blocking that goofy was probably the best option. Jay said that at least hit the like button before he leaves. Yeah, that's the best he could do. Hit the like button before I block your goofy ass. My people, listen. I'm about to end this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. You know, we were just waiting for the Hydro grind before ending today's show. JJ's in there has salute my brother Pasa Track, the Hydro grind, the real King George, John Parham, 2 left hooks, Mr. KO, JJ's in there has. Who else was in the building? The real King George in the building. Salute family. And golly damn. Shakur Hands was in the building. Wade. And everybody else who tuned in. Y'all, I appreciate you guys. Y'all know what it is. Toy Mafia was in the building. Bam. My peoples. Whoa, JJ's in there says drop the word of the day. Let me hit you with the word of the day. A request from JJ's in there that I cannot turn down. That's my brother right there. The Hydro Grind. I'll come in earlier tomorrow. It's fight week. We got to get to that, of course. Of course, we got to get to that. And we've been talking about it, but you was hiding from that smoke because you know you was going to get cooked. So you was like, yeah. Let me hide for a few days. Disappear for a few days. My peoples, here's the word of the day for you guys. Pasa Track, best boxing show on YouTube. Shit. Appreciate you, my brother. Here's the word of the day, my peoples. Boxing is a sport where people risk their lives every day. Every time they step in the ring, they risk their lives. And we get entertained by it. So even though, you know, I'm showing you this selfie from Virgil Ortiz, that's a selfie that he took recently. I need you to understand, one thing is trash talking, and another thing is the respect that we have for the fighters, the respect that we show for the fighters, right? So yes, Virgil Ortiz is a duck. He a duck. He ducking Jarrell Boots Ennis. But ultimately, I got respect for Virgil. I got respect for Boots. And I got mad respect for all the fighters who step in the ring and put their lives on the line. So my word of the day, respect the fighters, my peoples. Respect the game. Because the sport of boxing, just like Charlo Bruce is saying right there, is not a game. You don't play boxing. You put your life on the line. So as much as we joke around, as much as we have a good time with it, let's have respect for the boxers, my people. For all boxers. Whether they winning, whether they losing, whether they world champions, whether they never grab the title. Let's have respect for them, my people. That's my word of the day. Respect the fighters and respect everybody around you. Y'all already know what it is, man. This was another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith. I'm signing off. One love to everybody, y'all. Bam. Bam. We out of here.